Beneath the blue waves lies an abyss of darkness and crushing pressure. Few ever dared to venture there. But in June 2023, a group of 5 men bravely boarded the Titan to explore the ocean floor wreckage of the historic Titanic. Just hours into the gaping maws of the ocean depths, they vanished, never to be seen again. Some call the expedition an act of human courage. Others call it reckless billionaire hubris. Which side are you on? Titan was a unique 5-person submersible designed and operated by OceanGate, a leading U.S. underwater tourism company. Despite its imposing name, Titan was actually small, measuring just 6.7 meters in length and weighing less than 10 tons. With its sleek carbon fiber and titanium design, it was a futuristic marvel capable of diving to depths of up to 4,000 meters. On the morning of June 18, 2023, the Titan embarked on what was meant to be another daring dive. Cramped up in the minivan-sized sub were 5 men who were heading to the legendary Titanic shipwreck. The trip to the wreck was meant to take only 2 hours, with the full dive lasting about 8. Yet Titan carried a 96-hour oxygen reserve. Unlike traditional submersibles with hulls made from titanium and other solid metals, Titan's hull was crafted from carbon fiber, a bold choice more commonly used in cars and aircraft. While carbon fiber is strong, its behavior under extreme pressure is unpredictable. Titan was never certified by safety authorities, a factor that was later questioned. Should people with money be allowed to gamble on unproven tech just because they can pay for the ticket? On the 18th of June 2023 at 5:15 a.m., NDT, Titan's mothership, the Polar Prince, arrived in the vicinity of the Titanic wreck. By 8:30 a.m., Titan was secured atop floating platforms, known as launch and recovery systems, and ready to embark on its journey. The dive didn't begin until 9:18 a.m., when Titan detached from the platforms and sank into the ocean depths with its 5 passengers. The first hour and a half of the descent went smoothly, and the submersible communicated with Polar Prince via text every 15 minutes. Along with the text, Titan sent pings every few seconds, constantly signaling all was well. As it descended to a depth of 2,274 meters, the submersible sent a text that read, "All good here," reassuring the Polar Prince crew through the communications channel that all was going according to plan. However, 3,346 of the 3,800 meters into its descent, at 10:47 a.m., Polar Prince received Titan's strange and final message, "Drop 2 WTs." The crew on the Polar Prince was alarmed. The Titan was designed to drop its weights during its ascent to the ocean surface. Why would the submersible signal that action now? Were the passengers trying to alert the Polar Prince there was danger? Or was the Titan merely attempting to slow their descent to prepare for a soft landing on the ocean floor? 6 seconds after the cryptic message, the automatic ping stopped. The crew froze, fearing the worst. 2 seconds later, at the ocean surface, the communications members on the Polar Prince heard a bang. Less than 2 hours into Titan's descent, an acoustic signal consistent with an implosion reached a U.S. Navy acoustic detection system designed to locate military submarines at 11:04 a.m. This set off a chain of confusion among U.S. Navy officials, as the acoustic signal received did not fit the profiles of any known large military submarines, and it was later classified as an anomaly. Did the Navy know more than they admitted and keep silent while the world searched? Titan was expected to resurface at 4:30 p.m., and by 7:10 p.m., the U.S. Coast Guard was notified that the vessel was missing. A search and rescue operation began immediately, desperate to locate the submersible before the 96-hour oxygen reserve was exhausted. Sea conditions, bad weather, darkness, and water temperature made the search for Titan very difficult. It wasn't until 1:18 p.m. on 22nd June that the U.S. Coast Guard Northeast Sector announced the discovery of a debris field close to the Titanic wreck, confirming the fate of the 5 men on board. Rear Admiral John Mulger of the USCG confirmed in a statement that the debris was consistent with a catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. At 3,800 meters deep, the pressure is 380 times stronger than at sea level. Here, even the tiniest flaw can lead to disaster. Experts believe that Titan's experimental composite carbon fiber hull, or perhaps its acrylic viewport, may have succumbed to the relentless pressure, triggering the instantaneous implosion. From the beginning, Titan was never meant to be a unique deep-sea vessel, unlike any before it. Most submersibles made for deep-sea exploration undergo rigorous testing and evaluation to ensure they can withstand extreme pressure in order to get certified. OceanGate avoided this certification process altogether. In a 2021 interview, OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush admitted that his Titan submersible had indeed broken some rules. He argued that breaking rules allows for innovation, which aligns with his vision as a pioneer. But when does innovation depart the bounds of genius to become deadly arrogance? At the center stage of Titan's design was an experimental carbon fiber hull. Lightweight and strong in theory, but untested against the ocean's crushing force. Hull anomalies and repairs plagued Titan throughout its life. In 2021, a new hull had to be constructed after the previous one cracked due to the strain of 50 submersion dives. Surprisingly, Stockton Rush refused to construct new domes and interface rings. He instructed engineers to salvage and reuse those parts from the previous hull. Other episodes raised questions about Titan's safety. In 2022, Titan couldn't locate the Titanic wreck during a dive, uncertain of its whereabouts. In yet another incident, one of Titan's thrusters was discovered to be installed backwards, making the submersible spin in circles while trying to move forward near the seafloor. Despite a real-time monitoring system, RTM for safety, Titan's acoustic sensors and strain gauge could only provide milliseconds of warning before catastrophic failure. Without adequate time for escape from the Titan and the pressure load from the pressure of the deep water, any breaks in the structure would mean certain death. In 2018, OceanGate's Director of Marine Operations, David Lockridge, wrote a report raising safety concerns about Titan. He questioned the lack of non-destructive testing and the risk of undetected cracks spreading after each descent to the ocean floor. David Lockridge's warnings to OceanGate leadership went unheeded. Just as the captain of the Titanic ignored the warnings of hazardous icebergs on its course, OceanGate failed to appreciate the seriousness of Lockridge's apprehensions. If safety warnings were truly ignored, is the loss of the Titan a tragic accident or reckless corporate negligence? After investigations revealed that Titan's design, certification, maintenance, and inspection were all inadequate, Jason Neubauer, chair of the Marine Board of Investigation, stated that the marine casualty was preventable. In the aftermath of the Titan disaster, investigators issued 17 safety recommendations to close loopholes and update frameworks to help submersibles achieve safety standards similar to those of surface vessels. 5 men stepped into Titan that fateful, excited to explore one of the most famous shipwrecks in history. At the helm was Stockton Rush, a submersible pilot, engineer, and OceanGate co-founder and CEO. Next to him was Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a veteran of the French Navy, widely considered a leading authority on the Titanic wreck site, having directed more than 35 expeditions to the wreck as a member of the French Institute of Research and Exploration of the Sea. With a record of daring feats, from polar treks to record-breaking dives, passenger Hamish Harding was a fearless British businessman and space tourist. Finally, Shahzada Dawood, the Pakistani-British director of Dawood Hercules Corporation, and his 19-year-old son, Suleiman Dawood, were the last 2 passengers. The father and son shared a passion for science and history and were thrilled to explore the famous wreckage of the Titanic. The search and rescue mission to save the 5 men was monumental. In a race against the 96-hour oxygen reserve on Titan, ships, aircraft, and underwater drones were deployed in hopes that the passengers might be saved. But even as the world watched on, a brutal reality hid beneath the surface. At nearly 4,000 meters down, there was no hope that a flawed vessel or any human body could withstand the crushing pressure at that depth if the hull failed. The oxygen countdown gave hope, but the ugly truth was clear. After an implosion, there was nothing to save. Was the world watching a rescue or a carefully staged illusion to hide the truth of an instant death? More than 2 years have gone by since the Titan implosion that shook the world. Yet the U.S. Coast Guard Marine Board of Investigation continues its relentless pursuit of answers. After a series of testimonies and technical analysis, the board determined the major factors that contributed to the implosion. To blame were OceanGate's inadequate design, certification, maintenance, and inspection processes. The report also identified OceanGate's toxic workplace culture in general. Inadequate domestic and international regulatory frameworks for submersible operations in vessels were also cited in the report. The Titan was supposed to be the face of innovative deep-sea exploration, but became a symbol of what happens when ambition outruns accountability. So was Titan a bold step for mankind or a billionaire vanity project that doomed 5 lives? Beyond the tragic loss of 5 lives, the Titan's implosion had far-reaching consequences for the entire deep-sea exploration industry. Every institution that ever dreamed of exploring the ocean's depths now faces more scrutiny than ever. Carbon fiber, once praised for strength, is now questioned for its ability to withstand repeated deep-sea pressure. Strict testing procedures are now getting more scrutiny with harsher simulations. Titan's implosion is an unforgettable reminder that stringent safety measures are the necessarily high threshold and best prevention to allow for innovation without tragedy. The exploratory mission of the Titan is a grim reminder that the ocean is extremely unforgiving. For 96 terrible hours, the passengers' families, the Polar Prince crew, and a global audience realize the irreversible cost of unchecked ambition. Although OceanGate's mistakes can't be undone, enhanced safety regulations and reforms may prevent similar disasters. Like the Titanic sinking in 1912, the Titan's legacy is an enduring lesson that safety and caution at sea are non-negotiable. If courage means gambling with lives, is your expedition heroism or hubris? How will you decide? Thank you for coming this far with us. Kindly like this video and subscribe to this channel for more.